Okay, so our database is interesting now. We have two tables and they are related. Okay, that's why we call them relational databases. We have a form which we're going to come back to later, and we're going to modify it, make it more attractive. And we have a report. A report, again, this is the item here that we're actually going to be printing out and giving to other people, and it needs to be a little bit more attractive and more readable, and we'll do that near the end. So right now we have one more item here that we need to create, and that is queries. Okay, and if you look at the assignment here, you're creating two queries. You want to display all the authors table, and you also want to display all the books, and you want to sort it in descending order. So author 1 has the most books, so he's at the top. Author 2 has the second most number of books, and so on. So I'm not going to do that exact problem, but I'm going to do something very similar. So let's go ahead and click on Create, just like we did before. We have different groupings, table, queries, forms. Let's create a query. Now, you can experiment with the wizard. It will speed things up with you a little bit, but there's also the query in Design View. You know what? This is pretty easy, but since we're on queries, let's see the wizard first, because I think we're not doing anything complicated. So we click on Query Wizard. We choose the type of query we're going to do, and like I said, we're doing a simple query. So just choose the first option at the top. Pick the table that you want to base your query on. We only have two tables. So I'm going to choose the first one. You can select all the items. They're all going to appear on your query. But maybe we don't want to see them all. Maybe we don't care about the serial number. We want the name, the cost, maybe the room, or maybe the date purchased is not very interesting either. Those are the only three items that we really care about. So item name, cost, and room. We click Next. And then it's asking you, how do you want to display it? So we'll show everything as it is. We'll click Next. Now this part is important, the name of the query. Now you can say items query, that's fine, or another popular way of naming queries is just put QRY first, and then the name of the table that your query is based on. So I think that's about it. We have a basic query here. Let's go ahead and run it. And there it is, the item name, chair, clock, TV, how much they cost, and the room that it is currently located in. And if you take a look on the left-hand side, you can see in the object browser, you have your query listed there. Now, let's go ahead and close this. And this time, let's go into Design View. So I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to make some modifications here. Now, I can see the three fields that are there. Just for the fun of it, let me add another field, date purchased. I'm going to drop it right over here. Okay. All right, so field, table, sort, and so on. And I'm going to sort this by cost. So if you look here on the left-hand side, this is the sort row. So I'm going to go to cost, and I'm going to sort in descending order. So the items that cost the most will be at the top, and the items that cost the least will be at the bottom. So let's go ahead and select that, and before I save it, let's run it and see what that query looks like. So we click Run, and the most expensive item is at the top, and we can see the items are now sorted in descending order. Let's go ahead and click Close. We're going to save the changes that we just made, and if we look at it again in Design View, okay, That's our query, and that doesn't look anything like SQL. So where's the SQL code that you're going to submit on the practice questions and the final exam? Well, if you look carefully, in the design menu, if you look at the right-hand side, the query has different views. If you click the drop-down arrow, okay, you have the design view, which you're looking at right now, but Access, Microsoft Access, also generates SQL code for us. Let's go ahead and select it, and there it is. Select the following fields from the items table, and then order or sort them in descending order by cost. And on the final exam, you would just simply copy this out and write it on your exam paper. That is your SQL query.